No, I didn't.
The topic of today's show is
And we are live.
yeah, I know. Hey, what's up, everybody? The topic of today's show, I thought Dean would like this, is oh, come on, where's the description? What the heck? Oh, well, I put the description was no agenda other than world domination and keto-friendly Wonderbread.
Man, as a kid, that bag with the blue and the yellow and the red circles on it, you just knew, there's no other way to eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yeah. I mean, whether it was today or 3 months from now, there was no other way to eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I mean, those chemicals made that bread just super soft, moist, and wonderful.
It was the Twinkie of sandwiches.
It was. That's right. The Twinkie of sandwiches.
A Twinkie will survive a nuclear war.
Did you see Zombieland with Woody Harrelson?
No.
And anyway, he spends the whole movie looking for Twinkies. After the zombie apocalypse and stuff, and they find a Hostess truck crashed on the highway, and he's like, "Oh my God, I'm going to have Twinkies!" And he opens, it's nothing but those pink snowballs. Falls out, and it's nothing but an avalanche of snowballs. And he's like, "Those suck." So then this shows where they screw up in movies and stuff. Not, like when somebody's drinking and they're like drinking a beer on camera, as men do. And
is that a beer or is that like cider?
It's whatever you want it to be, Dino. Yeah. So the point is that it's.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
But
it's magic.
There's a scene where he busts a zombie in the head with a banjo. And he's looked the whole movie, and it's in a supermarket, okay? Mm-hmm. And they start bringing the shot back, and he's running forward with the banjo to hit the thing in the head. And what's on the side of him but a whole shelf full of Twinkies? And he's still looking for Twinkies, and so it was like a screw up. So
Continuity.
Exactly. So that brings us to today's topic, Dean.
Yeah.
Which is meaning.
Oh, heavy.
I want to talk about meaning. Now, I don't want to talk about, always look on the bright side of your life. Not the life of Brian, the meaning of life, all that good stuff. But I want to talk about meaning in terms of sales copy. Why? Well, first of all, do you think that meaning is important? And if so, what is the best way to express what something means to a prospect in sales copy? Now,
wow.
That was off last week.
A loaded question. And I love it. I love it. Yes. I mean, meaning is the extension of what your audience is looking for in anything. Mm-hmm. In identity, in a product, in getting rid of pain and moving toward pleasure, meaning in terms of what can they hang their hat on as it relates to their life and their experience to connect you, the copywriter, the offer provider, with that individual that you're speaking to, with your audience. So meaning is massively important. It's like anything. So here's a metaphor and a plug at the same time. So if you look at funnel,
holy crap, okay? Here we go. Okay.
So if you look at funnel scripts, one of the things that you put into funnel scripts, and we do this with avatars and we do it with bullets and benefits. Here's the benefit. And why is this benefit important? Well, that means you could do that. This benefit is important. This benefit is worth illustrating and highlighting and bringing up because it means this for you in your life, for you in your business, for you getting rid of this pain, for you and solving this problem. And so when you end on the meaning,
Mhm.
you are leaving the reader or the viewer or the listener with the most important thing that you want to land with them
Mhm.
and stick with them, because
Mhm.
the meaning is what causes something to stick.
Mhm.
Right, Mr. Pickle?
I agree. In fact, Jim, I was watching him doing a couple of trainings earlier today, and he came up with something I think is pretty dang groundbreaking. Like, I've never heard anyone else say this, and it was so good. It wasn't even the usual like spun up BS. It was like awesome, like amazing. You want me to have Jim share it with you? My meat puppet, Jim? Huh?
Well, let's take it away, Jim. Come on.
He's a little takeover child. So it was interesting because I was teaching about bullets, and let's give some shout outs real quick. What's up, Matt? What's up, Riva? What's up, Ugo? I hope I'm saying that right.
Great name.
Let's see, somebody whose name I think it's in Hebrew. I'm not sure who it is. You should know. What's the dude's name?
Errol. Oh man, I wish I could remember my Hebrew alphabet. There's no vowels there, so I can't read it without the vowels.
All right. What's up, Corey? What's up, Rodrigo?
I'm going to say it's Manish Halila Hazeh. That's his name.
Wow. Okay. So Anna, C. Ray, David. Hey man, it's fine. You're the one doing it. That's cool. Okay, so here's the thing, dude. This is pretty cool. I want you to think about this. All right, and then you can tell me if you think it's BS. You say, hey Jim, that's getting a little thick. You need to go outside and get some fresh air. You've been spending too much time in your wife's basement. Okay, I'd be like Kern though, staying here. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Oh no. Hang on.
Yeah. They're in the surfer dude days.
Exactly. So I want you to think about this. I don't want to use purple. Not to have anything about purple. Okay. So feature, benefit, meaning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This dude, you should think about this. All right. I really want to know whether you think this is cool or whether you're like, yeah. Okay. So a feature is what it is, right? Okay. A benefit is what it does for you. For you, meaning the reader. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then the meaning is what it means to you for it to do that. Okay. Which of these is the most significant part as far as connecting with and motivating the reader or listener or viewer?
Really, I would say the meaning.
Okay. I would agree, Dean. Now here's where it gets like, whoa. All right. So the feature appeals to you on an intellectual level. Features are analytical. It's like it's red, it's blue, it's 12 by 13. It's, it appeals to this, the head.
Mm-hmm.
Stay with me, Dean. The benefit is usually, people think of it as an emotionally compelling benefit, as it's compelling. It's linked to the heart.
Mm-hmm.
The meaning, when you connect with someone at a gut level, that is the most meaningful level of connection. That's the phrase that everybody uses when we think, they got me at a gut level. Okay. Meaning is where you hit people at a gut level. So feature benefit meaning hits you in the head, hits you in the heart, and hits you in the gut. And the gut is the one that gets people to react at the most instinctual level. That's the one that gets people to go, gotta have, I don't even know why, but gotta have it. I gotta do it. It got me at a gut level, really got me. So this is how you go from the head to the heart to the gut, and you get all three by doing feature benefit meaning.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
I've never heard anybody explain it exactly that way.
No, I thought you were going to say something else when it came to gut, but I like it. You go from top to mid, you know. So when you write your next book and you write about this, copyright Jim Edwards, sure. But here's where you're going to change the copyright to include me, okay?
No.
I know, because you're so possessive. It's got to be about you all the time.
Not always, just when I'm awake.
Yes, exactly. Even then, your dreams are about you.
No, they're not. I had a really weird dream last night. I dreamed that I was living in a chicken coop with my dogs and the chickens, and we were under attack by little white mice. And the chickens were fighting the white mice, and Muffin kept bringing me dead mice. Like, look what I got, Daddy. And I was telling her to take them outside. It was really strange. Maybe
right,
Elaine,
I know
Elaine can help me with that.
I know what that dream's about, but it's not to be shared here.
It's one of them Oedipal things, huh?
It's not an Oedipal thing. It's things that we have talked about. So I know what that.
Okay.
It's just blaringly evident.
Okay, well, I'll be excited to hear after we turn off the recording.
Okay.
Anyway, I thought that was pretty cool. I
like it.
Because meaning is what pushes it over the top. That's the one where it's just like, dang, I gotta do this. I gotta buy this. I gotta sign up for this thing. I gotta get it. What's up, Sonny? What's up, Anna? Anyway, that was pretty much all I had on that, unless you want to.
No, I like the visual of going from the head down to the heart, down to the gut, right?
Yeah.
It's the trap.
Yeah, it's my strange.
Yeah, it's your skeleton. It's your stick man.
Wow, that's like really, really bad. I'm going to get thrown out of the Stickman Art Academy because I just butchered that poor guy.
No, well, here's the thing. You just added dimension to the Stickman by doing that.
I did.
Yeah. I say it's an improvement.
Well, my copy's so good that his heart went up in his throat.
Yeah.
So what are some other ways that you can extract? Well, I'm going to share a way to extract meaning from something or to dig down, because oftentimes finding the meaning in a feature and a benefit requires some digging. So I draw on my experience with my 5-year-old grandson, Johnny, and then Eli had the same thing. They caught a really bad case of whyarrhea. And so everything, why? Well, because of this. Well, why? Well, because of this. Well, why? Because you better shut up or you're not going to eat. Oh, so at some point, I'm just playing. I never said that to them. I just said I would beat them mercilessly with a wooden spoon,
and
which I never did.
In the barn.
Yeah. Is that bad? So
not for kids, not if there's chickens and goats in there. No,
that's right.
That's a picnic.
But the way you do it is when you express a feature and a benefit, then you just ask, okay, why is that a big deal? Why is that important? Why is that important? And then when you have an answer, then you ask again, okay, well, why is that important? And then when you have an answer for that, well, why is that important? And about the 4th or 5th or 6th one is when you're going to pop off with a great example or a great thing to fill that in, as opposed to the first one that comes to mind, which is usually the easiest one, and it's really superficial and isn't really going to resonate with anybody. So I know that that's been talked about by other people. There's about a gajillion people that take credit for saying, ask why, ask why, ask why. Where I really got the concept. I don't remember where I ever heard the why thing, but I got a concept from Earl Nightingale years and years ago when he said, if you want to solve a problem or you want to really come up with an original idea or something like that, you need to sit down with a legal pad or sit down with a piece of paper and start writing out, write the big idea, write the big problem, write the thing that you want to do at the top. And then line by line, start writing out every idea you can think of. And the one I'm thinking of, he's, ways in which you could improve your service. And what happens is the first third of the page is all of the easy answers, all the ones that just come to your mind, the things that everybody would do. And then the middle third is where you really have to start thinking. And this is when the creativity starts kicking in. It's kind of like, you go from burning carbs to burning fat. And then finally, he didn't say that, I did. And then the last third is where you really had to dig. But that is typically where true innovation comes from, is when you really had to think and abandon the usual solutions and start looking for just new solutions. I think you can do the same thing with copy. You don't have to do a whole page per bullet, but it is something that is, going to make a huge difference. So that's one way to do it. Dean, do you have any other thoughts on how to dig into meaning?
Research. Right? So if you're stuck on a problem or coming up with a big idea, why not go out into the marketplace and see who else is dealing with the same problem? So you can go to Facebook groups, right? You can go to Reddit. You can go to Amazon reviews, and you could see, all right, I've got this problem I need to solve. I got this, and I got down to level 3 or level 4 after what does this mean? The market will tell you every single time what the problem is for them. And it's something that you may not have even, and probably haven't even thought of, which is why you're doing the research. And it's going to typically, I wouldn't say typically, always, it'll be an emotional response, whether it's in a review, whether it's from a white paper, a research, an article that you're reading where you're finding, oh my gosh, I have not heard it expressed like this before. Because when you see something like that and a light bulb goes off, that means it hits you on that gut meaning level. It's resonating with you. You feel it. You go, oh my gosh, that's it. It may not be the it, but it's one of the things that go, oh, I didn't think of that. What else is out there? What else didn't I think of? Because when you feel it on that level, you're thinking to yourself, oh my goodness, I never thought of it like that before. That's true too.
It's still pathetic.
Now you're butchering. Now you've just done heart surgery where, it needed an appendectomy. You just killed it.
It's like,
there you go. That's the.
What's that? Okay, we won charades. Appendectomy.
That's a shunt.
That's its kidney.
Yeah. Oh man, now he needs a transplant.
It's a spleen. The liver's on the left, isn't it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. Okay. So that's good. I don't know what else you want to talk about. Anybody got any questions or anything they want to ask us? We got another 9 minutes. We'll be happy to answer stuff.
Meaning, I think what you hit on is meaning is what's going to get people to lean in and pay attention. It really is. And we see this all the time. And I make this mistake constantly. And it's typically whenever I start writing a piece of copy, it's like, oh, this is good, but whatever, is that really going to draw the reader in? Is this going to be something that it's going to hit them on that gut meaning level? That you want that as often as possible in your messaging and in your copy. And we tend to focus a lot of time that it's that top thing, that feature, that the head is what's going to get people to take an action, whether it's to buy, to click, to watch a video, to subscribe to something, it's not. Because often we fall in love with our babies, and it's typical, it's human nature, but it's at the point where you have to say, okay, I need to step away from that and not be so married to this. I have to divorce myself from feeling that excitement over what I've just created and go, okay, what I just created is cool. You got to get rid of the coolness of it inside your own head, and you got to start moving down the stick man to the heart level and then to the gut level.
Right. And I think a lot of that happens because up here, we understand what that means down here. So we just know, okay, we know why it's important. So we figure everybody knows why it's important. So it's enough for me to just tell you this because you should get excited about it. Does that make sense?
It does make sense, but I would also go a step further and say a lot of times we don't know that, which is why we go looking for more meaning. Because
we as the copywriter, or we as the customer, or we as the copywriter?
I think both. As a copywriter, we'll look deeper. As the consumer, the light bulb will go off and we won't know what the meaning is until the copywriter expresses it and you go, oh, that's right. It's like a comic telling a great joke. You don't question why it's funny. It's just funny. But if you're listening to the joke and you think about it and go, why is that funny? That's why it's funny. Because you could be tapping into an experience that the audience member has already gone through, or you watch a movie or a TV program, or you read a book that's resonating with you. Why is it resonating with you? Well, most of the times we're just reading it or watching it or experiencing it, and we don't think about the meaning of it. But if you thought about the meaning of it, then you would start understanding like, oh, that is so cool. And if it's cool for me, and if I felt it, there's got to be a percentage of my audience that we're connected in the same way. And when you can express it in words and articulate it, that's when you've won. So that's when you connect.
My end to that is that you, as a reader of copy, studying copy, you want to be on the lookout for that. As a writer of copy, you don't want people to recognize what you're doing. You want to communicate so effectively that it just resonates with them and they act, because it's like a joke or like a magician. If they're caught up in it and they just feel it as funny or they feel it as amazing, you've succeeded. But if you tell it in such a way, like I think they call it telegraphing, if you start telegraphing what's coming and do it in a way that they're like, oh, I see what he's doing, then you blew it.
Oh, yeah. And that's like anything. You watch anything. If once the audience gets ahead of you, you've lost.
Right. Yeah. So the perfect example of that.
Okay. I love reading the Jack Reacher novels. It's great popcorn fun.
Have you seen the new Jack Reacher? It's fantastic. Really good. I love it. Did you finish it?
Oh, yeah.
Did you finish? Yeah. We power watched it. It was amazing. He is so much better as Jack Reacher than Tom Cruise was. I mean, Tom Cruise was not Jack Reacher.
No. This guy's got a wonderful sense of humor.
It was awesome.
His flaws are great, and he'll say the wrong thing sometimes, and it's so good. It's so good. But I just read the latest Jack Reacher book, which he did with his son. He co-wrote with his son, or his son wrote it. And I'll tell you, I was looking forward to it. It started off great within the first few pages, and then it switched heads. It went from third person to first person, and then something happened in the book. It was like within the first 20 pages, I'm going, I figured this out already. I figured it out, and I didn't even bother to read it because I knew what was going to happen. There was something in there that was telegraphed, and I'm thinking, why you didn't even need to put that in there.
How many Jack Reacher books are there?
There's 26 or 27 now, I think.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. Well, I've never read a Jack Reacher.
They're fun. I have a great book for you that's total fun. I could not put it down. Elaine read it first, and she said, Dean, I can't wait for you to read this so we can talk about it. Project Hail
Okay.
Mary by Andy Weir, who wrote The Martian. It's his
Okay.
latest book. It's fantastic. I just
Okay.
loved it. And I just recommended it to my brother. He read it and he loved it. So
Can you Vox it? Can you Vox it to me?
yes, I will.
Because you know me, I always read the stuff you tell me to read, and it's good stuff.
Oh,
and we
man,
always
if you
watch the
just
same
want a
shows.
Great fun book to read.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, we got a couple of questions. Real quick, Eugene says, "Hello, Jimmy." This is going to be a quick answer. Hello, Jim and Dean. Glad to be here. I got a list of women buyers for my friend in relationship niche. My question is, what would be the best way to engage and work with this list without turning it or without burning it in order to have some results? Number one thing is to have your friend who developed the list introduce you to the list and make some sort of an offer where people can opt in to receive communication from you. If you just start emailing these people, they're going to get pissed. You're going to get spam complaints. You're going to get your email server shut down. You're going to get your account shut down, and it could be even worse. So I'm just telling you, have your buddy, if they know who he is, you come up with an offer, he makes the offer to them, the ones who are interested opt in and go from there.
Yep. I want to add to that and say, find out what these women have bought before, because they'll continue to buy more of it. Especially if it's an offer that, because if they continue to buy, it means their problem has not been solved yet. So how can you solve that problem? Well, there's your new offer.
Yeah.
You ladies, you've tried this, you've tried this, you've tried this. You've bought this, you bought this, you bought this. So a buyer's a buyer is a buyer. So find out what they're not getting, what pain or problem is not being solved, and you find out how to solve that. And that's your offer in very broad strokes.
He just says, what if he doesn't know? Then he needs to ask. Then he needs to ask.
He better know. What kind of a marketer is he?
Yeah, this sounds sketchy. Sounds sketchy to me.
Yeah, is he an affiliate marketer who's marketing to these women who's for other people's products? So you got to know what the control is. What's the best-selling product? Yeah. That's what's the biggest seller to these women.
And when I say it sounds sketchy, what I mean is it sounds like you could be walking in quicksand and just create more problems than you think you're going to solve.
You got to ask the right questions.
So last thing, and then we're going to go. Randall asked, I'm new to content and copywriting arena. Are we talking about the meaning in writing headers or body of content? Yes. Meaning, you hitting the meaning and what it means to people, everything from headlines to hooks to opening paragraphs to stories to bullets to calls to action, all kinds of stuff. Drilling down to that gut level meaning is super, super critical. So,
and a really great way for people to digest meaning is in story. Tell a great story in your copy,
and they come up with their own meaning.
Yes,
it's even more effective when they come to the conclusion that you want them to come to on their own, because then they know that they came to it on their own. All righty. Well, great job, Dean. Appreciate everybody. We'll see you next time on the Jim and Dean Show. Everybody have a great day. Hey, by the way, if you would like to be able to write all the emails, all the opt-in copy, all the follow-up copy, and all the anything you need to promote any kind of webinar you want, go check out
FillMyWebinarSecrets.com.
Good job. Hey, that was a good handoff there. Great job, Dean. All right. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.